afternoon, good evening, good morning, YouTube. This is man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it's just about a wrap for this weekend for the Cafe Pro. Today, they just did the Olympia Pro qualifiers for, I think, men's bodybuilding, figure, I believe, bikini, and some of the other divisions. But as you know, I do pay attention to figure because it's a division that's, it's been around for a long time. It's the third oldest division in the IBB for the women. As you know, there's women's bodybuilding, there's fitness, and there's figure, which spun off of fitness. And we have here a lovely lady who also competes in that division. She competed just like almost pretty much a week ago at the USA Championships in Vegas. She's a figure competitor, a mom, a wife. She's here to share a story of how she got started in the sport of bodybuilding. So if you're interested, you want to give a welcome and hello to lovely Mrs. Michelle Krohm. Welcome, Michelle, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, George. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, not a problem. So, ma'am, this is the first question I'm going to ask you out the bat. What got you started in this sport? I call it muscle and masculinity. Please share.
So, honestly, I started just like everybody, right? You start going to the gym. 2020 was a difficult year for me. I lost my father and everybody was kind of stuck in the house, right? So I became very depressed. And with that, my outlet was I actually started walking because the gyms were closed. So I started walking and I just kept going with it and got into the gym, kept going. And then I just felt like there was something more. Just I needed to diet. I needed to get all of the aspects together. And I just kind of started talking to my husband and he gave me this like little idea in my head. He's like, why don't you think about getting a coach and competing? You're so dialed into going to the gym and it's pulling you out of like, I had this reason to get up now. I mean, I felt a little depressed before and I had this, I go to the gym and like let out all my aggression and let out all my, my everything was just into the gym for me. So that's when I got the coach and it just kind of went from there. But it literally just started with, I needed a place to go. I needed to just somewhere where I could feel like I was okay. And that's how it all started.
Yeah, everybody has that beginning. I can tell you that it's, especially during the pandemic, that was the worst time because that same year my mother passed away. She was sick herself. She was dealing with she had deal with several seizures. She had a stroke. She was diabetic, and she went to the hospital one day and boom, she caught the virus. And it wasn't that long after that she passed. And it was kind of with me. It was kind of like I lost someone very important to me. I say like this. I always say about my mom. My mom was my woman.
Mm-hmm.
She took care of me, and it was my turn to take care of her. And to lose somebody like your father, it's tough. You lose any kind of family member because, especially those people that have an impact on your life.
It was real tough. My father was my only parent because I had lost my mom when I was a little girl. So to lose him and then kind of go through COVID. And I remember sitting there going, this is everything I was scared of is like the world shutting down and not knowing what to do. And now he's gone. Like, what am I supposed to do? And that just can't, there's so many emotions kind of going through, grieving someone and COVID and everything that came with COVID, right? And that can overwhelm anybody, right, and cause serious mental health issues. So I'm so grateful for, kind of finding my passion in the gym, which took me into bodybuilding, so that I could be okay in life because I honestly was just at such a dark place from losing my dad and going through COVID that I say this a lot, bodybuilding saved my life. I really truly feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think bodybuilding is kind of sport that, even though it's a very extreme sport in the mindset of the everyday person, because there's always the issue of the conversation about the use of performance enhancing steroids and this and that. You just take some magic pills and get being buff. But for the conversation to have you ladies, it's more than that. It's the consistency, the persistence, the discipline, the determination, building your body to a certain way, especially as in your past, you were a bit overweight.
Mm-hmm.
And I can feel you that because I've been that for a long time. But recently, I had an assessment. I got some health insurance. I had an assessment. I was 1 point before my mother died. I was at 500 pounds, just about at 500 pounds, just touching 500. And last time with my doctor was a few months ago. I was at 418, 416, I believe, and now I am right around 412.
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's a battle to try to lose weight and trying to find something to help you in your process.
Well, and to kind of go back to the health, challenges that I had before, I had high blood pressure and I was told I would always be on medication. I haven't taken that medication in 4 years, 5 years. High cholesterol, which, is genetic, with my Sicilian genes, but that is much better because of the diet. Smoking, I was smoking for 18 years. And how was anyone going to ever take me seriously in the gym if I kept smoking? So I stopped smoking. That was it. I haven't smoked in 5, 6 years since COVID, 6 years. Just so many things that helped me change so many things and make it, to a healthier lifestyle. And that came from the diet and the gym together. Just changed so many things for me. I mean, I could have definitely had a stroke or a heart attack if I would have kept that lifestyle up and being over like 200 pounds. It's very unhealthy.
Hmm. I can understand because actually, with me, I had a heart attack like about in 2014, and I was at the time I was just 39 years old. High blood pressure. I'm pre-diabetic. Also, cholesterol has gotten better the last few years where I started to take care of myself. But it's also for like you being Sicilian, and it's like traditional family stuff, like how
Yeah.
we eat, how we grow up. I feel like there's black people, Italian people, we're about the same in some ways, and especially in our lifestyles and also our traditions. So,
Mm-hmm.
what was your first show? What was that like for you? I mean, you got to think about it. You got to walk across the stage and people seeing you, and I know your father passed by then, but you had any other family members that saw you that day because they got to think about it, especially.
Did it. And then after that, I'm like, oh wait, I have to do it again for the finals. I was a little scared. And you enter all these different classes, so you have to do it more than once. So it was a little overwhelming, but you feel so good about yourself and being able to just get on stage.
I have told stories where they got a little tipsy because they had to kind of shake off that nerves. Sometimes, especially you're in a high heel division like figure or wellness or bikini, or another division is high heel division. Excuse me, it's called fit model. Excuse me, I just
Yes.
I mean, I just don't have a very warm feeling about it. Division. I feel like it doesn't really serve a purpose, but it's an experience, especially after years of training and dieting, and then just to present yourself. And you mentioned your coach. Who's your coach and how long you been with them?
My coach is Julie Mayer, and I have been with her since 2024.
Mm-hmm. And I
And
never
she is
heard of her.
a figure pro as well.
Julie Mayer. I think I might have seen some stuff about her. If she ever want to do an interview, I'd be interested to have her on as a guest and talk about her experiences coaching and also as a figure competitor. We have here comments here. We're put my old man glasses on. This is from my man Jeff coming through. Shout out to my man DJ Jeff. He says, "Hey Michelle, do you have a go-to song for working out? Will you be a coming to North Carolina? I have high blood pressure. I love your mat." He said. So,
Um,
so
I'll be honest. I like to listen to a lot of hardcore rap when I work out. I like whatever. Just I like some rap music when I work out. That's my go-to.
See, I used to go like I saw we see some pictures. I saw I used to work at Planet Fitness. I used to work out there too. And what I did, I have an
That's where I
eclectic
started.
mix. Yeah, that's why I started for me too. When I was doing it at home first, but
Uh,
then I went to start Planet Fitness for a while. I had a little setback because I hadn't gone back since. My membership got canceled a while back. But I have a different. I have rap, R&B. I have this one. It's a mix of Rocky Balboa, where it's like it's a DJ. I'll send it to you. You want to listen to it. Because I'm on YouTube a lot. I have my YouTube playlist, and I have some classic stuff like some Ronna Isley. I even have classic Wham on my my workout playlist. But music is good because if one person somebody told me that does not work out with music is Sarah Vilgas. I said, okay, you can do that without just listen. But she has her own gym, so she do whatever want. We have here, shot my man. Had to correct him. He says hats to the mat. I don't know what he says. He says, I love the nails colors. Okay. Also, he says this, eat your fruit and veggies. Yeah, I try to eat that as often as I can. And also, he says, Michelle, you are always welcome to come on a Muscle Sunday so I can see your beautiful face. Calm down, dude. She's married. So calm down.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like this, Michelle. And I'm trying to get a new girl on here. It's like that. You ever saw the episode of Chappelle Show where Charlie Murphy's hanging out with brother Eddie, and
Uh-uh.
they meet Prince that night, and Prince is hanging out with this group of guys, and one of the guys named Nikki Free. Now Nikki Free used to be the lead singer for Shalimar. He was the second guy to take over when Joey White left. And
Okay.
back in the '80s, how Charlie Murphy says the dude looked like the most like a bitch was getting a lot of women, and people thought Nikki Free was a chick. So they saying like they say, hey, Shalimar got a new girl. She found a motherfucker. Whenever I get ladies like you out here, they act like you're Nikki Free. Say, hey, George got a new girl. She found a motherfucker. So that's what happens sometimes. So you were doing wellness. Why the switch?
So honestly, the feedback was if I wanted to stay in wellness, that there was no more building on the top. And I love to work out upper body. I love bicep, tricep, back day, shoulder day. So that's when my coach was like, do you want to switch to figure? Kind of put me in some of the figure poses. And she was like, yeah, we could do that. And then we switched the workouts, we switched everything to focus on figure. I did my first figure show March of 2025. And then I did another figure show November 2025, which is when I won the figure overall, which is that trophy that I have behind me. And then after that is when I did my national show last Saturday
Yeah, well,
for 2026.
The women right now in wellness are getting just as buff as women in figure. I
Yeah,
mean,
I noticed it is kind of changing a little bit since but honestly, figure for me is the exact fit. For me, I think that my body is just the fit for a figure competitor.
yeah, because I think one thing ladies told me, especially when I started doing more content with ladies with figure, because I think you're the fourth, fifth figure pair I have interviewed this week, and they tell me it's a different look. You have to have it's like a cross between physique, but a little bit of bikini, but said it's more focused on the back, more
Yep.
roundness in the shoulders,
Mhm.
more a streamlined look. There's one lady I'm following right now talking when I hope we get it on. Her name is Michelle Mackey, and Michelle she's
Mhm.
competing this weekend at Tampa, and her friend is a Lindsay, and Lindsay competed with you at the the USA's. And
Mhm.
Michelle got this beautiful back. I'm not a big fan of tattoos, but her
I know
back
who
is
Michelle
just
is. Yeah, she's
yes.
look amazing. Mhm.
I mean, I'm hoping to
Amazing.
get her on because I just like you ladies. I have to miss my crying, Michelle. Y'all ladies, y'all excite me. There's a thing we call us. The muscle pair smells, but sometimes I have to calm myself down and get around you ladies. I have to be very nuts. So okay, so back to the question, yeah. But yeah, it's a certain look. And even now, if you look at it, right now I just saw the Tampa Bay Pro top two competitors is Tamara Barrett and also
Huh?
Nicole Zenobia. Beautiful physique, both ladies, and it's very close to Pop who may get the Olympic qualification. Is there anybody that you've seen and you follow that really stand out for you as a competitor? You expect their physique, their hard work, their ethic, overall body, or anything else?
I mean, Cindy Gillian. She's what I've always followed her. Her physique is just amazing. Her Olympia performance. I've watched that over and over again. I mean, she's just amazing.
Yeah, Sydney is amazing. And you know what? She's right here with a lady who I am a big fan of, the lovely Miss Andrea Shaw. They're both beautiful women. They are promoters of the Triple O Dynasty. That's around the corner where you are from.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is a story I want to share while I'm here. And often the other guy would say this: if you get it something, never do it for free. And I have a friend. Her name is Eunice, and Eunice runs her own company called Bad Rap. If I get with the hat, here is the hat. I always want to pull it out. I got two hats. This one she sent me a while back. It's leather. It's pleather. And the one I got when I was at Tampa back in 2025. And the Bad Rap moniker is big and defined, ripped and pumped. They are this coming next weekend are sponsoring women's bodybuilding at the Atlanta Pro Show. It was back in 2023. She was at the Olympia. She ran into Andrea. And then it was maybe just a few days after my birthday, she get a call, say, George, something come for you in the mail for your birthday. I said, I know it's gonna be late by the 17th. So what is it? So next, a few days later, I go to the mailbox, I get this package. And in it is this issue of Must Develop It.
Oh wow.
The last hardcover, because they don't do hardcovers anymore. They just do digital. And I still got some collections that over the years since I've been following bodybuilding. And what makes this one special, because she saw Andrea at the show, she had her to sign this for me.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I had a friend. Her name is Nicole Strauss. She competes in OCB as a figure pro, and she
Okay.
sent me a nice little package too. I was so Guys, was so real quick what Michelle sent me. It's some beautiful signed pictures. She made her pro debut last year. She does figure also in OCB, and also this beautiful one here.
Oh, look at that back. Got
It's
a
a
great
beautiful bag.
back.
Her name, you can follow her on IG. Is called Respect the Shoulders. I respect the
Okay.
shoulders, but maybe after looking at these pictures, um, Nicole, I might not have much respect for you tonight. But I think something about women with it's just a beautiful thing to see a woman with muscle, and especially to the build and development of it.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think it also speaks to just how wonderful the woman's body is, right? That we can transform ourselves and put on this muscle and showcase it and dedicate, all this time into our diet and our workouts to build the muscle.
Yeah, it's a process that like people. It's not as easy as everybody think it is. It's not as
Oh, it's not,
simple. Yeah,
no.
because it took you a little over 5 years to get to this level now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I had posted something the other day, and it just showing my growth just from the beginning of March to now. It's night and day. I mean, I grind every day. I mean, my diet and my workouts, but just to see the growth in muscle in 1 year for me, it's just been amazing.
Yeah, we have some comments here. Shout out to here. Shout out to my man here. This is my Mikhail. The wonder he says solutions. I said salutes. I think solutions. Whatever he's saying. Also, he says this. He says, Michelle, you must be one hell of a athlete with those medals on the walls. You
Oh,
is that all from bodybuilding?
yes, this is all. This is the start of when I did the Nevada State, the Samson, the high roller, and then I have my trophy from last Saturday down there, and then my trophy from the high roller. This is all from bodybuilding. That's
Yeah,
the backpack from the high roller that I won as well. I just have everything put together.
yeah. High rollers. Well, no, I think it's right out of also Nevada too. The high
Yeah,
roller.
every November. Yes.
Yeah, and Samson. That's also. I remember one lady. She actually made her women's physique bodybuilding debut in Samson last year, and that is Rania Tamskin. As you know,
Yes,
Rania.
I follow her. She is amazing. I actually was on stage with her. I mean, well, she was right after me because figure, and then there was physique right after. And I remember being backstage with her, and she's amazing. Her physique is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she just took third at the
At the
Tampa.
Tampa.
I
Yep.
was at Tampa when she made a pro debut that year.
Oh,
Beautiful,
okay.
beautiful physique. Hope she does be able to get another qualification in women's bodybuilding. We need the bodies, especially for the Olympia. We got here. Shout out to my man, Jeff. He says this. He says, uh, I love jazz and Sinatra Queen. And also says, uh, Motown music. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah. Like I like classes. Like I grew up with being. I was like next to the last of my brothers and sisters, and they like the old school stuff. I used to listen to it when I was a kid. So now you did USA's. What was critique from the judges? What do you need to get to that able to get your pro card if you feel like you want to share?
Um, honestly, the the feedback was, I think that not all of them agreed with me getting the second spot. So the feedback was to grow my back over time. Yes, I need to grow my back, but I think some judges liked me, some judges did. I don't really know the full thing on what happened there.
Mm-hmm. Judging can be subjective. You can look at it like I just saw the Tampa Bay Pro and Paula Ranta, who is still a young competitor, winning women's bodybuilding. Who I feel like she's more she's there but not there yet. I think she needs more time to grow. If especially you want to get into the Olympia, you ever get some of the big dogs like Andrea and Ashley and Lavigne. Those ladies are massive. She has good condition, good shape, but you need more than that. Muscle density is very important. Overall size. I mean, each division has a particular different. But again, it goes back how the visions are starting to meld a little bit, where sometimes you can't tell the difference between the bikini girls, between
Ye-
the figure girls.
Yep.
Even I've seen girls in wellness who can look like probably one girl. I think you about her. Her name is Tiff Sam, and this girl is just huge. I don't
Well, she
know.
can go either way.
Yeah,
Figure or wellness.
because you were there at the when we did the seminar. Christina Mendoza, she's coming down from you know all the way down from women's bodybuilding to do wellness. Maybe she did it a few years ago. She probably could have did it, but now it takes a good time to get to that level, especially as a wellness competitor.
Yeah, for sure. And I think some judges are maybe looking for more of that, for more of the leaner, right? Like you had mentioned, more of the bikini look, and some of them are maybe looking more for more of the conditioning. So again, you're just really kind of playing your cards at what they're looking for in that particular show.
Yeah. So, folks, well, we got Michelle here. We're going to do this. We're going to jump to social media for a little bit. If you want to follow her links are in the description of this live. If you want to support these ladies, they can really appreciate it because, bodybuilding is a tough sport. The cost, the expense, the travel, everything that's involved in when you compete as a bodybuilder. But if you are, here's the one thing. She's a lovely lady. She's somebody's wife, somebody's mother. Be respectful. Don't be weird. We don't want to have no trouble from a husband, say, what's this weird shit to my wife? Yeah, yeah. How long you and your husband together?
We have been together for 9 years, married for 8.
Ah, yeah, that's a good time. Here she is. We jump into her social media. And you want to follow the links in the description of this live. And here it is. We go through here. This is who is this handsome gentleman right here?
That is my father, whom I was talking about, on whom I lost in 2020.
What was his name?
Michael.
Michael. He's a good, strong man. He had to raise you and being a single dad. My mother was a single mother. And who is this lovely lady right here?
That was my mom.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. It's old Southern saying, "You're just as pretty as your mama."
Thank
RP
you.
to her. I can tell
Thank
you, yeah,
you.
I miss my mama. And here she is, a comparison between her and from the Samsons into the USA's. What do you feel like really changed between these two shows for you?
So the feedback I had gotten from Samson and also from High Roller was to grow my legs. So that is what I have been doing literally for over a year, and I've been
You, we,
really focused on my legs. And as
we
you can
see,
see,
yeah, we see a little bit more feather. We see a little diamond right there in the right there in your quads.
mhm,
Not as smooth. Still got to, again, most definitely, it takes a while because leg day is probably one of the toughest workout of the day for any competitor.
yeah.
And if we go through here, and she does have a great overall look. I mean, and for you, what do you like about competing? What's the favorite thing about when you're on stage?
My favorite thing about being on stage is really just showcasing your hard work and dedication. I think a lot of people don't understand, what you're doing the day to day when you're in a prep, right? You're working out your meals, everything, you're posing, all of the things. I think once you get to the stage, you get to showcase everything, and that's
Hmm.
my favorite part about it. It's like you're unwrapping your present, pretty much.
Yeah. Who's this gentleman right here?
That's my husband.
He's a good man. What's his name?
Wonderful. Yes. His name is Kurt. And I think I'm sure a lot of competitors also understand, like your spouse, your significant other, they help a lot too during your prep. They deal with a lot of the emotions and the up and down and the craziness and all of the things that happen, when you're kind of going through all of the motions. So, my hat's off to him. He puts up with a lot.
That's tough, especially if you are prep. It'd be worse if you're both for bodybuilders on prep. I mean,
Oh, God, could you imagine?
who's this people behind y'all two?
Those are our kids, my
Oh,
daughter and our son. He is 17 and my daughter's 23 tomorrow.
23 now. Well, I'm about to say the same thing to her. Like she's just as pretty as her mama.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
And
that.
your boy 17. Remember, hey, he tell your husband, yeah, remember, beat him down. Yeah, beat him down. Can't let him get too big. Especially get that age.
Yeah.
But and also being a woman and raising a child and being a
Yep.
bodybuilder. It can't, raising two kids. It's a lot, to find the time, and she's pretty much about grown now. The other one's still growing. Has your daughter been had an interest of maybe working out, joining the gym, or even competing yourself?
Not one bit. Not one little. And I will say, so my daughter, I had her at 19 years old, so it has been so empowering for her to see this, right? To see that, you could be 19, single mom, kind of just like not sure what the heck you're going to do in life, and then turn it around and you're getting on stage, you're becoming a bodybuilder, you're following your dreams, your husband supporting you. I mean, she's seeing all that, and raising a daughter and letting her see that is just so important.
Yeah, that's good, because you're doing something, because you changed your life. My mother, she was 16 when I married my father, and she had my older sister a little bit after that, and she had to raise me, my brothers and sisters. There's a six of us, but there's only four of us left because I have a couple of my siblings have passed. Here she is at the San Francisco lady who I've interviewed, the lovely Mrs. Crystal
I
Howe.
love her. I love her. I love her to pieces. She's an amazing woman, amazing woman.
Yeah, she just retired from working school system. A while back, Crystal did a show in Texas. She was coming back, and she posted this video with some guy got in her face. And I said, what the hell? What's wrong with people? Like, for you, especially when you go out in public, when you're out and about with your family and friends, do you ever have to deal with people making comments? Either you have two sides. You can have one side where it's like, hey, wow, this chick going to be a man, get all these muscles, yada, yada. And the other side says, hey, can I touch your muscles? Can I?
So it's funny because I actually just was at Target earlier and I've got the stare. Some of them, some people say, "Oh, you look so." Some people will come up to you and say wonderful things. Some people, I will watch them whisper something, look at me, whisper, like it's. I don't know, like I'm like a circus act or something. Some people are really nice, and some people kind of make faces. Some people are saying, "Oh God, she looks like a man. She should be doing what she's doing," and then some people are like, "Oh, hats off to you, the dedication." Right. So you are going to get that in everything in life, though, right? So it is what it is. But yes, lots of comments all the time, especially when you either come off of a show or you're getting ready to do a show and you have your leanness and all of you're very vascular and all those things. So yes, you just kind of have to roll with it. That just comes with it, right?
Yeah, like it always gives me when I hear people talk about, oh, you look like a man. Right now, I'm looking at some of these pictures. Where do I see a man at? I don't see it. I'm a man. I got boobs bigger than some women. I don't see a man. I mean, it gets me, and I think it's always somebody who either they don't have the same determination, the same discipline, or the same mindset to do what you do. It's so easy to point the finger at somebody because they're always going to say, "Oh, the use of steroids." Yeah, but it's only for recovery. It's only for help you to bounce back, especially after training. Like, how's your days or weeks are like doing your training? Like, what's it like for your schedule?
So my day starts really early. I train at 3:45, and Monday through Friday. And then when I'm on prep, cardio right after everything is fasted, and then home to get to work. On a Saturday, I train legs, and it's like my hard leg day. So I'm kind of go to the gym a little later because I do my meal prep. I'm out of my meals by Saturday morning, so I got to have that done before I even enter the gym. So then I train legs hard on Saturday. I'm not, I don't have to do cardio right now. So when I do a leg day, I won't do cardio on a Saturday. Sunday is my back and shoulder day, another day where I'm just like hitting it harder, kind of go a little later because sleep is very important to me. I get 8 to 10 hours every night. Doesn't matter the day of the week. I go to bed as early as I need to because that is very important to grow muscle is sleep. And then I either do a sauna sometimes after, I eat right after, and I kind of really just feed your muscles, I guess is the best way to put it. I try to feed my muscles after I work out.
Yeah, because it's a lot of being consistent, being disciplined, keeping up routine, and also having a plan. As my other guy says, like this, Michelle, I don't have a plan. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I don't know what to do when I get one. I just do. But yeah, you have to understand the importance of rest, recovery, everything from getting like a massage,
Yep.
seeing your doctor, make sure your blood work, especially for women. As we
Mhm.
compare men to women, biologies are different. We do have share some of the same organs, but Men, we can't have babies. Women, you can't.
Right.
Men, we don't have menstrual cycles. Women, you do. You do. And then I've interviewed ladies who are up to as far as 40 to 60 who sometimes go through menopause, while they're training, and it can
Yep.
affect how their body, develops.
I've been really lucky. My body's responded really well to just pretty much everything. But my coach is also we have to do. I have blood work. I give her the blood work. I mean, we are really on, like, health is number one to her, and me being healthy, and so that is all part of it. Is making sure the blood work is done and everything is good. My body is healthy so that we can do what we need to do as far as the gym and meals and the training and the prep and all of the things. You have to have your health in order first. And that's very important to her and very important to me. And because of that, my body has responded so well because we put that as number one.
Yeah, it's important to put your health first for anything because with some competitors, they want everything quick, fast, and early, especially young competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And what my conversation with quite a few ladies is that bodybuilding is not a race; it's a marathon. You want to be able to have longevity. You want to be able to make it to the next show. You don't want to, like, we had situations where bodybuilders who had died from either dehydration or some other problem because they might have taken something or they didn't follow up with their doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It's good because maybe some people are not as keen to with medical science, but it's important in development as a bodybuilder.
Oh, absolutely. You have to do all of the things as a bodybuilder, and that means mental, physical, all of it. You need to make sure you're on top of your blood work, you're on top of your health, you're seeing your doctor, you're making sure that everything is in order because this is a very risky sport. You're doing things, you're pushing your body to limits that, not everybody's body is meant to do that, right? So you need to make sure that your body can handle it. So that's always, like I said, for me and for my coach, that's been always number one and the most important for us. And that's why I've been very successful in what I'm doing because I have put that as my number one, item to make sure I'm healthy to compete, to make sure my body can handle this. And any competitor that wants to be in the sport long term would do the same.
Yeah, it's better to be smart than be not understanding what you get involved to a sport and just jumping in because
Absolutely.
okay, I can lift some heavy weights and do this and do that. There's so much that's involved in its development, like especially when you're training. What's that
Yep.
favorite part of training that you like the most? And that one part says, "I don't want to do this today, coach. I don't want to do it today, but I know I got to do it."
I'm going to be honest. The thing that I don't like the most is cardio. I'm a bodybuilder. I want to lift weights. I don't want to do cardio, but you have to in order to lean down and be show ready. So that's the only thing that I ever tell. I'm like, cardio, because that's just not something I love doing. But some people love running and some people love cardio. That's just not for me.
Yeah. I know one lady, she was a figure competitor. She said she loved to walk on the treadmill in her high heels. That was her,
Really,
yeah, she used to do it. She loved her heels because,
I
I've talked to
love
ladies who
that.
do figure, and when they transition from figure to physique, they say, I'm glad to get those things off. And what's your favorite when you're working out?
My favorite thing, like my favorite thing is training upper body. That's my favorite thing ever. I love upper body day.
hmm So which one you feel like you do? Which you like chest or you like arms or which ones?
Like biceps and triceps. I love the dumbbell curl. It's my favorite thing to do.
I know some ladies say don't like doing any of the arm work, but hey, it's
I love
about
it.
fixing, especially if you're fixing your working. Well, say this, improving on your strength as much as your weaknesses. So now after USA's and you get your pro card, what is the plan now going through the rest of the year? Because it's already the eighth month. Can you believe it? We're almost into guys. It's the first of the month. Got your
The
chicken? Come
person,
on. I'm already about broke because you got to pay my bills. But what's the plan now going into the
so
rest of this year?
the plan now is we will prep for the next show that's for my national show to hopefully come home with a pro card or if anything collect more data because as athletes every time we do a show we're collecting data on how we can be better. So whether I get it my next time or I get it in two more times, I'll get it eventually and I'll collect data on how to be a better athlete each time. So the plan will be to prep again, do a national show, see if we bring it home, or we just collect the data and we continue to do it. Eventually, obviously, I would love to do a pro show. Obviously, I would love to do a show up. I love Florida, so I would love to do a pro show in Florida at some point in my bodybuilding career. Um, but we're a little bit away from that because we got to get the pro card first. But like I said, each time we're going to collect the data and we're going to just become a better athlete mentally, physically, all around.
hmm Well, I think there's quite a few pro qualifiers coming up. We are just about, I think, about another 7, 8 weeks away from the amateur Olympiads. Then, I said again earlier, I'm going to be going to the Masters World Championships, which also North Americans, which is another 5 weeks away. And then I think all the way another 12 weeks is the Nationals. And it's also within that same time is the Masters USA's. There's quite a few opportunities, and you feel like you can't get it that time. You can always there's Junior Nats, there's Junior USA's, and also there's the Universe. And if you
Yep.
do one of those shows, you can always do shows like the Tampa Pro. There's the for figure they have the Florida Pro, and there's a Hurricane in Florida, and also the Atlantic Coast, which does also opens and masters class.
Awesome. So many options. Like I said, so many options. I'll have my check-in this week with my coach. We'll plot out our national show that we'll hit again, and we'll do it again. And each time I collect my data, each time I bring my best game. Each time it's like it's a fun journey. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. You kind of, like it's like this. Everybody has that perspective when it gets to sport. They enjoy the work, the time they put into it, and the reward to get out of it, either winning at a regional show or winning their pro card. You
Yeah.
know, and again, this sport is a lot, especially for a woman when it comes to one most sexy thing that sticks out is the expense of competing because bodybuilding
Yeah.
is not like a very mainstream sport. I remember back in the day, it used to come on network television. You used to catch it on ESPN, but now you can only like watch it on pay per view. Now I'm on YouTube online.
Yeah.
Um, you did the universe where you had to pay to compete at the not universe, the USA's
Hmm.
pay to compete in one class. Some they would
Yep.
do multiple classes, and then the cost of traveling to the shows, the cost of when you get to the show, the cost of prep, the cost of hair, makeup, jewelry, your suits, tan right there. Then for the guys on the other end, they have their costs doing prep. But and truthfully, so they all they gotta do is put on a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts, except for some
Right.
pants. That's
That's
it.
true.
That's it. And I wish there was a way that would come sacrifice the cost because if you still have to pay for your NPC card fees,
Yep. Every year.
are you sponsored right now?
No. Yes, by my husband. He pays for my all my things. Yes.
Yeah, that's called being daddy. So, yeah,
That's called
yeah,
being married, right?
yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
it's a huge cost. It's a huge cost, absolutely. I don't think people even realize, and you there's a cost for everything. So again, it's I say it like this, right? Everyone has their hobby that they spend their money on. This is my hobby. This is what I spend my money on.
Yeah, because something you see as a hobby, but also it's truly a sport. But you still have to train, work out, diet, like any other sport. But again, it's always bodybuilding gets a stink eye because of the use of performance enhancers. But it's steroids is about in everything from birth control to inhalers, And I think bodybuilding get worse because your sport's not as mainstream, but is worldwide. I've interviewed ladies as far as the UK to Australia to Canada, South America. One lady I interviewed from Singapore, and even though it's not as mainstream as a sport, but it has really a worldwide following.
Yeah. So, bodybuilding is huge. And
Mhm.
bodybuilding for women is huge.
Yeah, because I think you make up a good percent of the competitors because you have multiple divisions. Because I think they started out when they first started out. I remember it was just women's bodybuilding. I grew up the age of Corey Everson, Rachel McGlash, and then Linda Murray and came through, and Iris Kyle and Andrea, and and you have physique and figure and fitness and bikini and wellness and excuse me, the other one, hot fit model. I could go on why I'm not a fan of the division, but this is about you. So also one thing is that we all know food is an important process of growing of a bodybuilder, the diet. And sometimes you have to have the right things that maintain a certain level, but every now and then, especially after that long prep, and after that tiresome long times of eating dry chicken and veggies, and sometimes you want a little something sweet, savory. And like I said again, you said you're a Sicilian. What is that thing you wanted the most after that last show? That thing that was just calling your name.
You know what's so funny is the thing that calls my name after a show is my protein bar, because I usually have those taken away weeks and weeks and weeks before my show, and I miss those, like a Bear protein bar, or however you say that. Those are delicious. So that's the first thing I have, and then I eat something like a burger, or let's see, what did I have? Actually, this last time we went for sushi, because that's what I just felt like I was just missing it so much. Each time, each show that I do after, my craving is different. But I really just crave the things that are healthy, but that get taken away early on, if that makes sense. So like I can't wait to have my yogurt back. I can't wait to have strawberries again. That's really it.
Well, there's nothing funny about that because I've had talked to ladies who say they don't binge after the shows. One lady told me that after the show, her and her husband sat and just drank some water and watched some television, chilled out that in their room together. Yes, some ladies would tell you, you know what, they dive in. I know I was watching the video with some of the ladies post after USA, they was diving these guys selling some cookies. They were eating those cookies like crazy.
I've
Sushi.
done that before.
Yeah, sushi. I had an interview with a lady. Her name is Sarah Bow. She was competing at the Toronto Super Show just about a couple months ago, and she ordered some sushi, but because that show took so long, she got done. It was she get like a DoorDash. It was waiting for her. It was sitting there 2 hours at her motel room door. And here's the thing about sushi. I'm from the South, man. And when we had fish, we never had it cold raw. We had it fried or whatever. That's just me. I had nothing against it. I remember one lady I interviewed when she told me that Barbara Marjan, who was multi-time Olympian, she told me she loves sushi. I looked at it,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. I mean, that's not me. I'm not. I ain't
It's
fish a
not
long
for
time, but
everybody.
that's not for everybody. Not for me. So, so for you, what's that thing that really you feel like it can get you to that next level as a competitor?
Honestly, I just think I need to just keep doing what I'm doing. And I will get to that level that I want to be on. I need to just stay the course. I feel my coach has put me on this path, and I have done well. I mean, each show I have done well. I placed well. I feel good mentally. So I just need to keep the course, and that's going to get me to the next level, and just keep doing what I'm doing, and keep focused, and keep grinding, and I will get to where I need to be.
And that's the good thing, especially for the mental part. It's very important to have your mental together much as your physical. We talk about sometimes, like shout out to my man to David and also Jeremy. We do a podcast off. We talk about things like post show blues.
Yes.
Sometimes after you want to keep that lean, weak look, but you can't keep it forever. Body dysmorphia, often with
Yep.
bodybuilders, you feel like you're not big enough, and also being a woman in the sport considered very extreme and very masculine, and have to deal with people's own issues with that. Like I said again, she's a lovely lady. I don't see anything manly about her. Again, I don't get it, but me, I'm just being a fan and doing this content and talking to you ladies. I learned something what it takes to be someone to do this sport. I mean, I could be. I mean, like, with my battle losing weight, I'm not as disciplined. I mean, this morning I had a cookie and I ate a half a pizza, but but this is something that you found that really helped you in your process in battling with your issues from losing weight to cholesterol and all that stuff.
Well, and I will say this, when you go from, losing weight the way I did, and you go on stage and you do, because my first show, I suffered from body dysmorphia. unbelievably on another level. And that was because I went from one extreme to another. And my first show, I was extremely lean, not really much muscle, right? So the body dysmorphia was unbelievable. I remember my coach kind of having a hard talk with me, and like I had to, if you want to become a bodybuilder and you want to grow and you want to really grow as a bodybuilder, you need to kind of dive into that body dysmorphia issue and you need to step back and really unravel that. And that's what I had to do. And I will say now, a couple years into this, I'm more comfortable with my body now than when I first started. I mean, sure, I still have issues with body dysmorphia, yes, but not to the extreme as I have when I first started competing. That's something that I think a lot of people don't really talk about, and that is what happens after the show, and especially with new competitors. It's very hard to digest. But if you have a good coach, you'll get through it. If you can talk to someone about it, you should, because it is something that can ultimately really mess up your mindset and your mental health dealing with those body dysmorphia issues.
Yeah, it's good to also take care of the mind as much as the body, because if the mind's not going, the body's not going to be willing. And
Oh,
I think
correct.
with some people, especially in certain areas, especially in the Black community, we don't see mental health as an issue. But now in the last few years, especially in the United States, it's become a growing issue that you take care of your mind first.
Hmm.
Stories of a while back, a lady, she was a Ivy Pro, she committed suicide. That was sad, but she was going through stuff, and she,
Wow.
needed the help. But I think you shouldn't be afraid to say, you know what, there's something I can't do for myself. Let me see if I can get help. And it doesn't have to be expensive. There's a lot of programs and places where you go for free, and also fix your body. It's something that's very important for you and for any person who gets in this sport, to take care of yourself, to maintain your health, to always look over what you feel is the best thing for you and what's right in your process as a bodybuilder.
So the best thing for me, whenever I feel kind of any sort of body dysmorphia kind of coming on, is I try to look back at how far I came. And I look at myself from before I started competing, my first show, my second show, my third show now, right? And I go, okay, you have come a long way. So you have to step back and remember you're not always going to be perfect. You're not always going to look show ready. You're not always going to, look like you did here, but you have come so far. You have done so much hard work, and you always have to remember that. And you always have to take that back in and remember it. And that helps me. Also, talking to my coach, that's the other thing that coaches don't really get a lot of uh, call outs for this, but they help so much with the mental part of it. It's not just them telling you how to train and telling you what to eat, but checking in on your mental. My coach checks on my mental. How are you? How are we doing? What do you think? All those things, those are important. Making sure you have that open line of communication with your coach. Those are the things that help me. Also, kind of staying away from people that have a negative impact about, bodies and working out and bodybuilding, any of that. I try to stay, into a zone of positivity, loving the body that I'm creating. People around me are encouraging that, having open lines of communication with my husband if I'm feeling down about my body, having open lines of communication with my coach. And those are the things that have improved for me, because in the beginning I was not as healthy mentally with this. I will 1000% cop to that. This has been a process that I have gotten to while becoming a great bodybuilder, but also improving myself mentally in bodybuilding.
Yeah, and that's again go back to mental health. And it's good that you talk to your husband, your coach.
Yeah.
Some people see a specialist like a psychiatrist or therapist, because also getting people that in your life that don't really help your life to see. Like I've talked to ladies that sometimes friendships change because you go to bed like maybe 8 o'clock in the evening, and because you got to get up like 3 o'clock. At 3:45, I'm doing this. But I used to get up in the morning when I had to go to work, and I've talked to ladies where friendships change. Relationships with the family members have changed.
Yep.
I know both your parents are gone, but ladies have to deal with how their mother and father see them because the sport is so extreme. But it's good that you have like your husband, your daughter, and your son in your corner, and your coach in your corner, and those friends that there to attend your shows. Like, your husband was there at the show with you. I know he's happy. Say, that's my sweetheart. Your kids ever go?
My kids, yeah. My daughter goes to every show. My son was at my last one, but yeah, my daughter and her boyfriend always have been going since I started, and it's so cute because I watch them like like watching the stage, and they're like, making comments because now they like know what to look for because they've been going to bodybuilding shows now so much that they, understand what judges are looking for, and it's so cute. And I wish I could get her, in this world with me, but she's not having it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about children. You gotta let them go when they feel like they're ready.
Yeah,
And like I said,
that's
even though
true.
she's 23, she's still a
Mhm.
child. I remember
Yeah,
sometimes my mom be sitting there talking. I mean, those days before she, got really, when she was getting, we sit around the house and she was getting feeling bad. I always want to make her feel happy. I said, Mama, I said to your mom, ain't I a man, Mama? Ain't I a man? She said, no, you're my baby. No, I'm a
yeah,
man, Mama. I'm a man. And you got to let children come in their own time. She didn't look like
for
she's a
sure.
pretty girl. She got maybe, maybe fit model might be the division she can start in. And
Mhm.
then, like you, she eventually evolved. Maybe your son might be interested in it. I've seen ladies who compete with their own children, and have a passion for it. But it's just about her, and she maybe her boyfriend also maybe think about becoming a trainer, and maybe even compete himself. Like what you do outside of bodybuilding for a living. What's your life like?
So I'm an accountant. I work right now for an amazing company, a medical company, and I work in operations for that company, and they are super supportive of me doing this. And that is another thing that I will talk about that is very important. Whatever you're doing your day to day, that your job kind of supports what you're doing in bodybuilding because that makes it easier. That makes my like eating my meal prep and doing my walks and doing all the things and them kind of just being very supportive. It makes it easier. So that's also very nice for me.
So you work. I've interviewed quite a few ladies who does accounting. I know one lady. Her name is Susan Davis. She's an accountant, and I think
Okay.
she lives in Arizona. She
Okay.
also does powerlifting, and it's good to have a stable job. I know quite a few competitors like to. They work in the fitness industry as coaches, as trainers, nutritionists. Have you think about doing that in the future? 'Cause especially your history of your weight loss.
For sure I have. I would love to get into something, especially with diet and helping women. But I also love I love my job during the day. So, we'll kind of just see how that plays out. But right now I have the best of both worlds. I have, a really I feel like a very good day-to-day job, and then my bodybuilding that I'm doing on, in my free time. It's just like this great balance that I'm having. So, I mean, who knows where it'll take me in the future. Like I said, I'm working, for a healthcare company, so it's kind of really nice too. When you're working in healthcare and you're so big in passionate in fitness, right? So that's also something that I'm really proud of.
Yeah, especially somebody who also uses healthcare. We appreciate what you do. We thank you for your service because you are providing service. I got a bill collector I got to take care of later on this month, but but it's important that you do have something grounded, especially in a career. Shout out to my man here, just popping in. My man, the Brown Baldy, saying this. He says, shout here. It says, greetings on this Saturday afternoon. Greetings, brother. Thank you for coming through. So, as you know, the plan is now to maybe see the show that works for you, national qualification. Maybe if not, it's always next year. Because again, this is not a race, it's a marathon. So,
That's right.
yeah, but it's important that you find what works for you in your process as you grow up and grow. And like I said again, the pro card is there. It's just the right show, right succession. And judges can't be, I think the judge, was it Sandy head judges at the show?
Yeah, and she put me right in the middle.
Yeah, and Sandy's pretty good. I mean,
She's
I've
wonderful.
followed. Yeah, she's
I
she's
I
been.
I I love when she's the judge because I feel her feedback is always so good. She really I feel like she's been around so long. Her expertise in what they're looking for is it you know it speaks to me. I mean, she was the one who told me grow my legs. I just everything that she says, I just want to like take it all in.
Yeah. What about she did a little live, or if I find the link, I send it to you. You can check it out.
Okay.
And she often discusses about certain things, especially physique, figure, women's bodybuilding, because she's been gaining quite some time. Remember, she years ago she did this. We were talking about. We had a little one of my podcasts we do every Monday. We had a discussion, and there's a video of her talking about this one competitor named Valentina Shepard, and Valentina was the one of the two of Miss Olympics back in 2000.
Mhm.
And she talked about the detail of her physique and every layout. I think some judges kind of just throw, hey, just want to get bigger. And then there's some judges, if they come approach you and they tell you something, take it like a grain of salt, talk over the soda. But somebody like Sandy or this weekend, Steven Weinberger, he judged at the Tampa Bay Pro. Someone don't like those people who be in the game for a long time, understand bodybuilding. If they tell you something, take it like the gospel and
Yes.
use it for you to develop and to grow.
When she is talking, I am like listening like I have never listened before because it is like the gospel. Whatever, when she is speaking and giving feedback, I mean, I just want to take it in because that's exactly who you want to hear from. And she also, like you had said, a lot of judges will just, say, oh, this or that. She is looking at you and giving you the heart, like a good critique on what you need to do to bring your best game. And that's really, something like me, a competitor like me is looking for.
That's good to get that because when you use that material, you want particularly doesn't want to be some just cookie cutter, just say do this, do that.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing of it. And also the point is to have a good coach, a good relationship with your coach. Because some coaches give a cookie cutter plan, but remember, men and women, we are different. We're the same race, but we're different species, genders, whatever you want to call it. And it's smart to work with somebody who understands every aspect of growth and of process in this sport. It's not as easy as a lot of people think. Again, it's not taking a magic pill, shoot something up. I've had ladies tell me that, George, if they did what I did, but don't follow the same plan I did, they're not gonna look like what I am.
Oh,
You can you
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you can take all the steroids or every peptide you take. If you're not exercising, dieting, you're gonna look like shit.
I tell everybody before I got a coach and had my diet dialed in. I went to the gym all the time, but I didn't look like this. And your diet is what makes it. Your diet and your training and your other habits too is what dials it in and brings you the muscle growth. It brings you, the results you're looking for. If you're not running that tandem together, it's not going to work. And I was a perfect example of that. Going to the gym every day, but not having any muscle. I was doing it because, it's good for my mental health, right? I was there and I didn't feel as depressed anymore. However, I didn't have the look that I wanted. Once you get the coach and they dial you in with the diet, then it's life changing.
Yeah, we can make some big changes. So, folks, we're not going to hold them much too longer. We appreciate the opportunity for her to come on here and share her story. This is what my channel is about, to give ladies like herself a chance to, because this is her first time doing an interview. I like it when I get the first time ones. But, this is the thing about this sport. It's understanding what you want out of it for yourself and what you want to see for your future. Like for yourself, what would you want out of bodybuilding towards your future?
I definitely would like to have my pro card. I mean, I've been working hard at this. I feel like, it's almost like that. Does that pro card put me on the map differently as a bodybuilder? Well, no, but yes, right? So it's kind of like you're living with somebody and you want to get married just so you have the piece of paper. I guess it's the same thing, right? I feel that I, eventually would love to have that to show that, my dedication and hard work gave me that pro card, and then from there kind of see where the journey takes me. I'm really enjoying the ride. I'm really enjoying the mental growth that I have, the growth I have as a bodybuilder, as in the gym, all of the things. I'm really enjoying the ride.
Yeah, you should enjoy it because you should take it too seriously, but sometimes you should take it just serious enough.
Correct.
Or how somebody say describe it like this: you have to learn to be comfortable, be uncomfortable. You have to learn dealing with maybe, for one thing, if we go to the shows, we see your competitors. Your husband's there, he's cheering. That's my wife there. Your babies are cheering for you, clapping for you. And some weird freaks say, "Hey, yeah, that's a cute little shorty little thing. Hey, you freak, stop that." But we understand what took you to get there. The tired, the sleep, the workouts, the dehydration, but then we see these amazing bodies on the stage. And it's all that you put into it to get to that level. And I think people need to respect that. It's not as easy as you think it is. Once you get into it, Not everybody has the courage for it or the attitude for it, but those that do, I would say congratulations and keep being the best as you what you are.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you having me on here and letting me share my story and my journey. And please follow my journey because I plan on making it memorable.
Yeah. And one more thing, folks, if you're also interested in maybe sponsorship, helps cover the cost from everything from flights to travel to motels to food to prep to everything. If you're so interested in sponsoring Michelle in the upcoming season, she's trying to want to get a pro card. It's tough. Sometimes some people get it on the first thing out because one lady who competed that day, Brittany Mills, that was her bodybuilder overall debut. She did one show and they got a pro card. She was competing both in women's physique, women's bodybuilding. We got one in bodybuilding. But if you're someone interested in assisting a bodybuilder in their goals, reach out and genuine interest. Or if I could do this, like if I could sponsor a competitor, this is what I do, man. I feel like this is my stick. And I said, Mrs. Krohm, you have an interesting story about dealing with being obesity, depression, or other stuff, the passing of your dear father. If I could, and if my company can provide you a way to help you get your goal, and our product is something that can help you build to the next level, if you'd be interested in working with us, we would like to make you one of our brand ambassadors. So let us know if this is something that might be interesting to you. Maybe talk with your husband and see how you think you want to go towards your future. We would like to see you grow and be the best version of yourself, madam.
I would love that.
I would love that too. I would love if I had if shout out to one guy who just got an award for achievements of a lifetime, Mr. Jake Wood. Yo Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. I wish I had his. He's the man who runs the Olympia. I wish I could do like what he did with Wings of Strength and bring back women's bodybuilding to the stage and maybe help competitors like yourself. And like my friend Eunice, she also does it. She sponsors athletes. I wish I could do that, but this is my platform, and this is why I do this. Give really like yourself. So you say, I had a lady who said, "I'm not anybody. I'm not a big star. I'm not even." This is not about being a big star. It's about you doing something that most people don't have the courage or the mindset to do, and it takes a lot. The sacrifice, the time, the investment you put into yourself to reach that level. Even if it's like the IFB or it's NPC, OCB, so many other bodybuilding federations, organizations, you have done something that really takes a lot of time, courage, and effort to do.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. And that's another thing to always remind yourself, right? That you're doing what it's like 1% of the population does bodybuilding, right? So we want to always try to remember and be a little kind to ourselves when, we're going through all those things, right? That we're doing an amazing thing.
Yeah, we have here a comment from my man Baldy. Before we go out, he says this. He says these female bodybuilders need our help. We do, and guys, if you're interested in helping, Michelle, the links in the description of this live stream. You want to reach out if you have, whatever you can do. Like if it could be something simple as, hey, next time she's got a flight out, hey, we pay for your plane ticket. If she's gonna rent a car, hey, we got your rental. If she needs, like, okay, we cover your tanning costs, your suit costs. Those little things can help them out. But guys, I don't want these guys to say, hey, Michelle, if I do something for you, you do. She has a big husband and I don't think he wants you to do that. But if you're someone who's genuinely interested in helping and assisting any competitor who competes in the sport, please do that. You get more with with sugar than you do with vinegar. Okay. So Michelle, before we let you go, you have anybody you want to shout out to?
I just want to, really thank my coach for putting our time and patience and everything into me because I really wouldn't even be sitting in the seat talking to you if it wasn't for my amazing coach, Julie Mayer, and my husband, who also has been supporting me and just, picking me up when I'm feeling down and behind the scenes when no one sees the things that go on with competitors, right? Those two people have been tremendous in my life and in bodybuilding and where I'm at today. And I cannot thank the both of them enough. I really, really cannot. And the growth that I have done because of both of them has been amazing. So I want to just give a big shout out to both of them.
It's a man's duty to make sure his woman is taken care of, to be there. And also same time you do for him when he's falling down. That's the thing. It's good. I've never been in relationship. I had relations, but that's a different story. So shout out to my man here, Brown Bally, coming up. He says this. He says, straight up bodybuilding is a lifetime sport, has more longevity than any other sport out there. Yeah, because there's people talk about bodybuilding dying, but I do content on MMA, mixed martial arts,
Mhm.
combat sports. More boxers have died in and out of the ring than bodybuilders the last maybe 20 years.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's yeah, because boxing is a very extreme sport. And it's easy to overlook it because it's such a mainstream sport. And there's even that baseball players that died from a baseball bat. It happens, but because those sports are so well recognized and mainstream, they get overlooked because bodybuilding is such a street sport. And then sports like cornhole and throwing darts is on network television. You know what I mean? And so I had to watch the Tampa Bay Pro on pay per view. They got to make them understand that. But the thing
Yeah, that's
is,
crazy.
yeah, 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 it's crazy. But they can make a good chunk of change. And but I mean, think about it. Throwing a beanbag in a hole. I mean, you
Yeah, I don't know about
know.
that.
So, folks, we'd like to thank the lovely Mrs. Michelle Krohm for taking time here, sharing her life, her story, her plans. We wish her best of luck. Most definitely get a pro card. But this year, next year, whenever, I would say, ma'am, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to your coach, your husband, your kids, all people that stand by you, because this is a sport that's very tough. A lot of risk, but a little reward. I also shout out to my guest, my man Brown Barley coming through, Jeff. Also, my man KL the Wanderer. All you guys who watch this video, again, you want to reach out to Michelle, and we genuine interest and we support. Guys, you get more with the Silk Gub with the Iron Fist. I know what you're doing with that Iron Fist. So, yeah, okay. Don't be weird. So, thank you, Michelle, for your time, and wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, George. I appreciate it. Have a great one.
You have a better one too. Well, folks, it's Mel with George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out. God bless, and I'll see you next time.